Stugotz here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love a good gummy. Whether I'm on the golf course or winding down after a long day of carrying the show on my back, all I need is one good gummy to help me totally relax. And now, thanks to my good friends at CBDMD, getting Delta 9 THC gummies shipped directly to your door is not only possible, it's easy and affordable. How about that? Every CBDMD Delta 9 gummy is packed with 10 milligrams of THC per gummy. And let me tell you, buddy, they work. CBDMD also has Delta 9 microdose capsules that feature 1 milligram of THC, so it's easy to enjoy them whenever, wherever. And listen, I know it's easy to get confused with all the different Deltas out there, but Delta 9 THC is the same good old-fashioned THC we've all known and loved for years. To learn more about Delta 9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com/Dan. Once again, that's cbdmd.com/Dan for information, education, and the best damn gummies you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta 9.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
Dan, we were talking off air, and you said the phrase "dumbass Lobos" as we were talking about fantasy football off air.
Same, man.
And you said it with real derision in your voice.
Insulting.
And you might have even been offering to pawn it off to another project. Yeah, go take your dumbass Lobos somewhere else. But you know what? It's time for Billy's thing.
Dan, guess what? I have a thing.
Does Greg Cody know the thing?
Greg Cody does. Well, Greg Cody doesn't know this is the thing, but I did have a conversation with Greg Cody
Wait a
off
minute.
air in the break.
Okay, but wait, before you give away your thing, because I don't know what your thing is, are you alleging that your thing is as big as who's predicting the Dolphins will win the Super Bowl? Stugotz or Cody or both of you?
That is a combo between me and Greg. I have seen Billy's thing. I think Billy's thing might be bigger than our thing.
But you guys are agreeing that it has been agreed. Billy, you've been trying to get me to do week 1 of the NFL season, Patriots Dolphins, and here, look, not surprisingly, Stugotz and Bill and Cody, first day, first hour before football's ever started, Dolphins have to do the maximum thing.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have to win the Super Bowl. Everything else is a failure. And we are Maximum Here Sports Radio, and your thing is bigger than that thing?
Some are alleging that my thing is bigger than that thing. Mm-hmm. And you did do week 1. You said we were trying to do. We did 40 to 14.
And they swamped me by doing. They just did the whole season. They rendered I did do week 1, but look at how much bigger and better they did it. At the end, they win. They always win. Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
Well, speaking of the whole season, we have a very important announcement, Dan. A series of announcements, but today is just one portion of the announcement. Dan, football season's right around the corner. Sponsors are chomping at the bits to get in on the action. Champing at the bits.
Should be chomping.
It's chomping.
It's chomping
at the bit.
It's a singular bit.
Good correction, Roy.
Chomping.
No, we have multiple.
Roy, what
no,
happened?
guys.
Roy,
I think it might be champing.
Is it champing?
And I just,
It's chomping
Bad
at the
correction by Dan
bits.
on Roy. Roy, good job.
I'd just like to say this as well. You say it's bit, but we have multiple bits that can be champed or chomped at. So just sponsors beware.
No.
One of which was chomped. And guys, not the MMA hangout. That's not a thing.
A horse champs at the bit. I'm just saying.
That actually was champed.
All right, gang. For the football season, a sponsor has picked up Greg's Lobos update.
You gotta be shitting me.
Can't run, Dan.
Head coach and president of football operations, Greg Cody.
How about that?
We've sold out. We have totally sold out.
Wow.
This is a new sponsored segment that we're doing right now.
And Dan, it is presented by Visible. Switch today at visible.com.
Okay, so
I love
wait.
Visible.
All right.
What's my cut?
Was anyone going to tell me that a business deal has been
seriously.
made? Okay, of
Was
course.
anybody going to tell me I am Greg
Exactly.
Lobos?
Yep. What is your cut?
All right.
I mean,
Fair
Oh, my
enough.
God.
all fair as we figure out the business of Meadowlark Media and we figure out who gets that money. When
Is anybody going to tell you? This is us telling you. We're telling you right now.
You're telling me. We're on air right now, and you're informing me
And me.
that we have entered, and you,
Yep.
that we have entered into a monetized sponsorship deal in order
Someone
to
has.
do what with the Lobos when I have not agreed to do. I have fought Greg Cody my entire life on his ability to do, never mind sponsored segments, fantasy segments about his dumbass Lobos.
Oh, Visible says it's happening, Dan,
Exactly.
so.
Damn right.
Which today?
We
Yeah.
presented them a menu with all kinds of football-related segments to sponsor.
They chose the Lobos?
They chose the Lobos.
Wow.
Of course they did. They're a smart company. Visible. They're
Okay,
fantastic.
So, all right. Oh, they're fantastic.
What do
All
they
right.
do?
So sellouts abound. Yeah, instead of telling us it's fantastic, what do they do, Greg, sponsor of your podcast?
Visible?
You're just learning.
A lot of stuff.
You just
A lot of stuff.
For my podcast. I mean,
A lot.
No, they're
What do they do? Wait, Visible. Boy, you got a spokesman, Visible,
No.
for Greg's Lobos.
I'm
what
kidding.
do they do?
it's a Verizon thing. It's great.
of course.
They are the
That's
best.
right. So
Yeah.
what's going on with the Lobos?
No, this is not how we're going to do business
Come
on the
on,
air.
man. Don't ruin this now.
Is it chomping at the bit or champing at the bit?
Champing at the bit.
It's
But it's
I
bid.
tried to
You have
tell
a
you.
lot. Yeah.
It should be chomping.
That's
No,
right.
it should be champing. Horses
But what does
champ
that,
at the bit.
What does
Only
that mean?
apology.
What does a champ do?
What does a chomp do? I mean, what's
Well,
any
chomp,
word
like
mean?
you would think, like you're kind of biting down, like you're sort
On
of
the
like you're
bit.
getting
Right.
in on the bit.
Yeah.
But like champing, I don't even know what champ is. To champ.
Wow, Whitty didn't even know this.
No, I didn't. I thought it was chomping.
Brady's a
All right.
champ.
That's right.
Owe me an apology.
I loved Stugatz, Brady. I really did. It was one of the greatest quotes I've ever seen. Did you see what Brady said about his 11-day absence, how he described it?
I did, but it's Lobo update time brought to you by Visible.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
We will get back to that. I
Get
assure
our
you.
priorities straight here.
I assure you that you guys didn't tell me this segment was happening, and we will figure out how to do it on air. Thank you to satisfy the sponsor and inevitably do a fantasy update I don't want to actually do.
Greg's
Because
Lobos.
I don't want to hear about Greg's Lobos.
Well, Greg's
I,
Lobos.
I want to talk about Tom Brady saying,
Why? Why would you?
Exactly. I mean, listen, it's your company. You have a sponsor who's spending money with your company. I would
Seriously.
please the sponsor.
Right
I mean,
now,
Business 101.
I wish Dan was invisible. Is what I wish.
I'm trying not to sell out. I'm trying to do the show that we would do where Tom Brady, that's interesting, that his quote would
I've
be.
sold out years ago. Dan.
I'm aware of that, Stugatz. No one more than me.
What was his quote? That he's
Trust
a big
me.
Lobos fan.
No
Brady's
one more
a big
than me.
Lobos
You're
fan.
informing no one of news with this information.
Just reminding you.
Yes, I would, and I've desperately tried not to.
Wait, Dad, is
you
Tom
don't
Brady?
care. I
is,
know.
is Tom Brady a Lobos fan, Dad?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Right.
Yeah, I understand he is.
Tom Brady,
His son is as well.
said, "I'm 45. A lot of shit happens."
Got a lot of shit going on,
I got a
man.
lot of shit going. I understand that.
Relatable.
I really do.
He's right.
Right.
The most relatable thing
I
he's
mean,
ever said.
yeah.
I don't even understand the quote, and it's the most honest thing he's ever said. Yeah, man. I've been living a long time, and things pile up. I know you all think it's great to be Tom Brady, but every once in a while, I got to go somewhere for 11 days because someone else wants me to shoot an underwear commercial.
Tom Brady used to like throw on vacation in Cabo. It was like a fundamental requirement of his being that in order to be a great quarterback, he must throw the year round. And now, 3 weeks before the season, I'm old. A lot of shit going on. Sorry.
It's so great.
But you get it. Like, that to-do list has to be so long.
Him longer than everyone else's, right?
He's a
Yes.
professional football player. Like, it's his job.
Nah.
No, and your wife wants you home, and she's a supermodel too. Her life is big as yours.
And the Masked Singer is calling, and it's just
Yeah.
the whole thing.
And
Plus his broadcast
you
career.
just
You hear
gave
about
away
that?
our life. It's like this. It really is. It's Giselle. You just gave away our life for $375 million in a Fox job that I don't know is going to have you wear golfing that you don't want to actually be golfing. And my kid and our kid needs to be raised because we got a lot of shit going on.
He just got his life back.
I love analyzing Tom Brady from there to be old enough to he's family shit.
He's got stuff.
It's just everywhere. and go make them champions, champ.
He's 45.
Yeah.
It's lunacy.
Trying to play professional football. I feel like that requires every bit of your energy and focus.
How could he be ranked number 1 on Madden?
Did you see the year he had last year?
He's also number 1 in the NFL's top 100, NFL Network.
Yes, and he
No
should
way.
be.
Maybe that's what I
Yeah.
saw.
No way.
I mean, it's voted on by players. They're just giving him
Yes.
the respect that he's
course.
earned.
He's not
Yeah.
the best player in the
Aaron
league.
Donald is number 2. They're saying he's better than Aaron Donald.
Wow.
Well, he is.
I mean, all time, but
Currently,
it's supposed to
at
be
this
for
moment in time?
But the NFL Network rankings are
Well, he's a
supposed to
better
be for
quarterback
this
for sure.
year. It's supposed to be based off last year. What's the rankings?
I mean, did you see the season he had last year? I know Aaron Donald had a good season.
And
won
Aaron
the Super
Rodgers
Bowl.
was MVP.
Yeah, Super
I know,
Bowl.
but Brady led the league in yardage and touchdowns and
Not getting it done.
Not getting it done.
QBR. Yeah, that's
Failed
true.
to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Not his fault.
What's
though.
he done lately?
What is this Lobo segment, Greg? You don't
Safety
know.
dropped the ball. Remember?
We're working on it because this is new information to me. I am so glad to be aligned with Visible. And so much is going, Greg's Lobos are the reigning champion in PFPI Fantasy. When
Wow.
you win a championship, all kind of opportunities come to you.
A lot of shit going on.
Lobos World Headquarters has increased. We're now like a Taj Mahal. We have a slide going from the second floor to the
Hard
first,
Knocks following
like
them.
at Clemson.
Hard Knocks following Greg's Lobos for a
Another
second season.
Yeah, Hard Knocks
Wow.
is following us.
We're going to create our own Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
The Greg Cody show did it last year.
Right.
Yeah.
We did get a cease and desist letter from HBO on that, but we got our
we didn't.
attorneys working on it.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. We have a combine. The Lobos have a combine.
Wow, how's
scheduled.
that going?
Well, we're inviting a lot
Brady,
of
yeah.
we're inviting
Donald.
everyone that's on our radar to draft to our Lobos combine.
Yeah.
In South Florida at an undetermined location. And
That's got to be coming up real soon.
Is that your
huh?
house?
It's coming up real soon. It's in a few
World
days.
headquarters,
You
yeah.
know,
It's Sunday at your house.
so far, response has been a little light from players willing to fly down here on their dime to try out for our eyes, but still, we're hoping for a big turnout. We've been with the patent office. Our alternate name is now officially Greg's Original Lobos, so our acronym can be Go Lobos. So that's something that's been developed by our team.
That's
in
big.
in just the past few weeks. So, a lot is happening. Obviously, we're not going to reveal any secrets on our draft strategy. That's to come. But we couldn't be happier. We want to go back-to-back Jack in PFPI Fantasy with a second straight championship. Go Lobos.
Chris, are you sort of mortified that your dad, how interesting your dad finds all
Himself.
of that? And how interesting he thinks the audience finds his.
Check out the Greg Cody show this week. Jim Martz.
Greg's
The real one. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that's right.
No, Greg was scared here. Let's do this now. Greg was scared when he came in here that I was going to make fun of his podcast, The Greg Cody Show, featuring Greg Cody.
With Greg Cody.
Because
Come
today on the show is Jim March, his mentor. Jim March. No one wants
Correct.
to hear
It
from
would have
Jim
been
March.
more relevant if
No
it was
one in
Mike.
the- no-
If it was Mike Martz's brother, it would have been more of a more relevant
no one
interview.
in the world wants
Maybe it
to,
is.
No
I
one in
mean-
the world wants to hear from Jim March.
That's not true.
But Greg Cody thinks what the audience craves, and you will prove it to him now by making Jim March trend. You will prove it.
And maybe it's Adam McKay.
Please.
Maybe.
He interviews his mentor, Jim March, who he identifies as, salutes as the maker of Greg Cody.
The inventor of Greg Cody.
Which is quite the visual.
Yeah, he's the public. I would not exist in the public eye if not for Jim March.
Neither would the Lobos.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you.
Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack.
Sounds like my Friday night.
Go Lobos. We are the Lobos.
Brought to you by.
Visible.
There you Stu Gatz here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love a good gummy. Whether I'm on the golf course or winding down after a long day of carrying the show on my back, all I need is one good gummy to help me totally relax. And now, thanks to my good friends at CBDMD, getting Delta 9 THC gummies shipped directly to your door is not only possible, it's easy and affordable. How about that? Every CBDMD Delta 9 gummy is packed with 10 milligrams of THC per gummy. And let me tell you, buddy, they work. CBDMD also has Delta 9 microdose capsules that feature 1 milligram of THC, so it's easy to enjoy them whenever, wherever. And listen, I know it's easy to get confused with all the different Deltas out there, but Delta 9 THC is the same good old-fashioned THC we've all known and loved for years. To learn more about Delta 9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com/Dan. Once again, that's cbdmd.com/Dan for information, education, and the best damn gummies you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta 9.
Dan Batard.
Why are you so bad at this?
Stugats.
I can't answer that question. It's a good one, though. I've been thinking about it a lot.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugats.
Represented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Dan for a special offer when you sign up. That's code Dan, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Can you guys update me here, please? Because we are getting a barrage of this from whatever it is that happened yesterday. I've told you before that Amin and Zach and Anthony Mays, they have bad judgment. Check it out at Cinephobe. They drag Amin down, those guys, and he gets dragged down with them, and he doesn't mind. And Amin could be a glorious, wonderful talent that soars across the sky, brilliant and fun. But he's best drunk Amin over there, and you guys like him.
Let's not pretend that sometimes Amin is ringleading the bad judgment. He can very often be in charge of the bad judgment.
He's dragging them down? Is that what you're saying?
He's dualities, Amin El-Hassan. He comes here, he's a duality of man. He comes here, demonstrates very good judgment, and then sometimes cinephobe, basketball courts during the NBA Finals with Kevin O'Connor demonstrates bad judgment.
Right.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Amin is a mess, and those guys don't help him. Amin is a shining star in this industry. His information is so good. His knowledge is so exceptional. And because he wants to do Cinephobe.
A mess El-Hassan.
Oh, that was good. He was robbed. I mean,
It was bad. It was bad. Bad, Greg.
I'm getting a lot of this
mess
today,
El-Hassan.
and so you guys will have to tell me what the hell happened, because just simply, wow, terrible shit today. Let me know when Stugats gets back.
I'm back.
When Dan gets back, he should send every single one of you to the ocean. What happened?
Well, Dan, yesterday's show got off to an inauspicious start, shall we say.
What's that mean?
Well,
Zach saw 2 Aubrey Plaza movies.
yeah, so what happened is we did the thing that happens very often around here, where we started, but no one said that we're starting. That's why I brought a slate in here one day. I gotta get my slate back.
Yeah,
it's a very important part, so we can signal to.
It's a false start.
Right, exactly. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
But there's a general lack of order here, and I find it suspicious that anyone here with any judgment, never mind those guys, would think it a good idea to try to do our show with both of them on Zoom. Like, just from the start, a truly dreadful idea. So start there.
well, it was a backup plan, shall we say? So we had. So Amin and Zach, so they do a false start. So I come on the mic, all right, guys, we ready to go? And so like, what if we just recreated everything we just did? And so they did. And then we did it a third time. Why? And then
What happened the second time?
Well, the second time it was kind of like
Zach saw 2 Aubrey Plaza movies.
right. And Amin was wearing a Hall & Oates shirt.
Not ironically.
One was in the theater and one was back at home.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
Aubrey Plaza?
Billy Gill is a lot like Aubrey Plaza.
Allison
I've noticed.
said that once.
Allison did used to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
That's
going
it.
Is that a
That's
man
the
or a
thing.
woman?
We
So
just did.
we literally just
what
did
Whitty
the
and I just
entirety of
did.
yesterday's show.
We did like 42 times yesterday. Why? Because we wanted to, the first time we were like, let's restart, do it again, let's recreate the conversation. And then we did it that second time. We were like, oh, that was funny.
All right, let's
And then,
do that on the air now.
Then we did
And
10
then
minutes
did
of
it a third
show.
time.
We did 10 minutes of show, and then we did it again.
What were the
Yeah.
good judgment examples, Dan, that you had of Amin?
Oh, no. Have you heard him on Metal Lurkers?
No.
We don't listen to the other podcast, sorry, Dan.
What?
What is Metalarkers?
I'm 45 years old, man. Got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
What about him? Tell us. I mean,
I mean is super smart. You guys see it? Yeah, man, nobody else is fit into our group the way he does. Like, he is super smart, but he's got bad judgment. And those guys bring it out, and you can find it. Cinefo, check it out. That's how they do it. We funded it. Pirates are going to be pirates.
Or yesterday's show, hours 1, 2, and postgame show. We hope you enjoyed it on the Dan Lebatard show.
Ames said it was fine art, of art. Like, he said it was fine art, whatever. That's him, jazz
Art.
hands. Maximum.
Right.
Steve Martin.
That's the excuse you go to when you know something's bad, but you want to portray it as good. But anyway, I was told that Amin, Zach Harper, Beetle, everyone, the whole crew, shipping container, I heard they did a fantastic job overall. And I, for one, am very thankful because it allows me more vacation time. So thank you to Amin, Beads, the shipping container, and whoever else filled in. Zach Harper.
David Sampson.
Sampson filled in? Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't hear great things about him.
Wow.
Sorry, I couldn't go back.
What?
What? That's a fine. That's a fine. That's a fine.
Whose Siri is going off? There's a
Not
Siri.
me. Not
What
me.
happened
It ain't me, babe.
there? Wasn't me.
Dan?
Yes, it was me.
Wow, it's $25.
$25.
$25 buckaroos.
With interest.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just $5?
That's 25.
Interest.
That was pre-vacation. Yeah. Times have changed.
Whole new world.
Speaking of which, I understand you have it back in my day, which stunned me.
It's Tuesday.
That's right.
Of course I do.
Duh. Every Tuesday.
Of course. My bad. So let's go ahead. How do you feel about today's back in my day?
It's right out the oven. It's right out the oven. It's an experience I had in the past few days. So it's fresh. It's new. I haven't done it before, which is always a good start to a back in my day.
So it stirred something in you.
Yes.
You when you write, Greg Cody is an exceptional writer for as much as he plays the fool around here, because largely he is the fool. When something moves him, he writes really well. And
Moving
God,
it.
he doesn't visit that place very often.
That's true.
He's just grinding out dolphin columns
Yeah.
that he doesn't care about.
Right. I don't want to, I don't want to give people too much. I want them to always be wanting more.
Right. That's the key.
It is the key.
Yes.
Yeah, lower the bar.
Yep.
And then you look good.
Check out his most recent column, a very emotional tribute to Jason Jenkins of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, okay? Because before I get into back in my day, and I'm looking forward to hearing it, and I'm grateful that we've arrived at another Tuesday, because these are I really like that Greg is allowed to do this nonsense here that honors Andy Rooney that you've been doing for a long time and you're tired of. You don't want to do it anymore because you want to grind out those dolphin columns and do podcasts about your Lobos.
That's right. And have Jim Martz on.
Jimmy Martz. Yeah.
Jim Martz.
What happens, Greg, if someone
my
comes
mentor.
in like Visible and sponsors back in my day, and then you need to do it every week?
That's why I got an agent. That's why I got a lawyer.
You don't have either.
You're gonna sue
I
the
do
company?
have a lawyer. I married her.
We should negotiate deals for you. Stu Gatz will negotiate them.
I need it.
80-20 his way.
Of course.
Your lawyer does insurance defense.
Still.
Yeah.
Law degree.
Some knowledge of that.
Law's law, exactly.
Law's
yeah.
law.
The old
Law's law.
Constitution,
That's right.
you know?
That's
Vern
right.
Law, former Pirates relief pitcher in
That's
the 60s.
right.
Yeah.
Lawyer Malloy.
Yep.
Thank
Ty
you.
law.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. Legal talk.
David Justice.
Nice. Yeah. Very
Judge
nice.
Reinhold.
Wow.
Judge Reinhold, yes.
Wow.
Or Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I like it.
there you
Yes,
go, yeah.
That's right. Al Magistrate.
Before we get
The
into
great Maggie.
Margaret Court.
the Magic Man.
Yeah.
Magic Man, Al Magistrate. What a great character. What position does he play? Is he a basketball player? Al
That's a
Magistrate.
good. I think he's on the bench.
Johnny Bench.
There you go.
Yeah. So
The warden.
before we get to back in my day, I do want to address, because this was, I don't think I've seen this happen very often. You tell me if you've seen it happen, Greg, because I saw that it made national news over the weekend that Jason Jenkins, vice president for the Dolphins, had passed away. And when that news arrived, I think a lot of us who got to meet Jason felt slapped across the face with something heavy and thudding and final in a way that would just send you sideways on how fragile everything is, and mortality and everything else. But I didn't think that a vice president of a team, by dying early at 47, I haven't seen, would hit that chord where it became a national story, because this person's touch was unique and warm and sunshiny, and we all could feel, whether we have kids or not, you could feel, well, wait a minute. What do you mean he's gone? I didn't get to say everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't. Never mind goodbye. I didn't get to say everything. I didn't get to let him know. Hey, you know, when you were walking around making everybody feel special, being warm, being generally helpful, being, you know, it can be media relations, but it can be cold and processed and business. For this guy to reach that many people who felt moved by what a nice man, what a caring man, what a giving man, what a helpful man, and then hit also with the mortality of, like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean it can be like that before you're 50 years old?
Right.
I've never seen a story covered like a vice president of a team the way I saw this one covered, and I wondered if it was because that chord had been hit by this man's kindness.
I think it was for a couple of reasons. Number one, the media generates the content, and he was beloved by the media. You know, not just admired, but we thought the world of him. And the other reason is that the Dolphins just won the NFL award for best team community relations. He was that guy. He was with the franchise 13 years. The only winning the Dolphins did in the past 13 years was at the community level, where Jason Jenkins was the guy steering all that. All of it. The holiday turkey giveaways, the new equipment to local high school teams, all of that
where
stuff.
A sports team gets embedded in the community. This is complicated, okay? Because the Dolphins, Stephen Ross, we've all seen the messiness of Stephen Ross as he's tried to get Tom Brady and, like, stamps F1 in Miami Gardens, and you've seen what the Dolphins are now. The Dolphins are headed, after being a regional team for 20 years, this thing is headed into expectations and an NFL
Super Bowl
Super Bowl that you guys are saying.
Yeah.
This thing's link to the community it used to be Fudge Brown before him, but the link to the community of a team actually being a part of the community so that Deshaun Watson's not okay. That's what died. Like, you will hear husband and father, but the link between this team and this community, in the community, because what I remember about him, like a lot of media people are nice to me. Yeah, they're nice to me. How helpful he was to my brother, because my brother paints this community. How far he went out of his way by leaps and bounds to make sure that my brother had the touch of the Dolphins, who can be a historically arrogant organization that doesn't actually care about this market, and has run off a lot of its fan base with we're the Dolphins, we're the NFL. This dude was the link to the community. It gets colder from here. It'll be less because he's gone, because his touch was felt. It was felt in the community.
Yeah, but I think his touch was so profound that they're going to try to replicate it as best they can. I don't think they're going to let everything he built wither. I really don't. I think they're going to make an extraordinary effort to let his legacy live on. I think they're going to, and I'm not being flippant here, but they have to name a building after him. They have to do something, and they have to replace him with somebody who has that same aesthetic, that same work ethic, and that same love of the community. The way this news broke first was hours before the Dolphins finally acknowledged it at halftime Saturday night. The news broke in the community. The way I first heard about it was through somebody with the Broward County YWCA, who he was involved with. The people he touched in the community were the first ones to hear the shocking news, and it was shocking. You know, it's one thing if someone has a terrible disease and you at least have months to get used to the idea of mortality and that you might be saying goodbye. This guy was the epitome of apparent good health. And
life.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's gone. And it was just a shock.
I know you guys talked about this yesterday, so forgive us for being late to this, but I just did want the audience to know, because the NFL's a beast, man. It's a monster. Like, it's coming this way, and it's taking Christmas from basketball as a sideswipe. And this Dolphin team is going to matter in this community, and they can take it right back from the Heat. I can't believe the Heat took it for 20 years. I really can't. But they can take it right back because of what football is. If they've got a flashy team that matters, that scores and everything else, I'm being fined again.
It's $50 now.
I'm rusty from vacation.
Yeah.
Let's do back in my day.
Dan Le Batard.
Greg Cody of the Miami Herald, who is a source of constant frustration and entitlement and narcissism. This is what he says. This is either the last Back in My Day as a regular series or the first of a new phase in which Back in My Days are occasional, not every week. So he has just announced officially his laziness.
Stugats.
I want to make him an occasional series.
I am once a week.
But no, I think more occasional. Right. I think every time you don't have a Back in My Day, you can't do the show. I think we should.
Okay, that's fine, because I have a contract, so if you want to pay me for not doing the show.
That's fine. We can pay him for doing nothing. We already do.
That's a good one. I got no retort for that.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats.
We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code Dan for a special offer when you sign up. That's code Dan, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
That's $75 total.
And now it is time to take
Keeping
a trip
track?
down memory lane. Here's your guy, Greg Cody, with Back in My Day.
I don't have my wallet.
It's another fine. Yeah. It's 150 now.
In-flight magazines. Slayed the pandemic. Traveling again. Big bird up. But something's different. I look in the seat pocket in front of me, and all I see is that cardboard pamphlet about the plane that nobody reads, the drink menu nobody needs, and the barf bag. Where's my in-flight magazine? Where did it go? Joni was right. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot, and then stole my in-flight magazine. These staples of Americana predated even Greg Cody. Pan Am Airways published the first IFM in 1940. Now the high-flying mags are disappearing like donuts in a press box. Southwest Rag, augustly called simply The Magazine, is gone now. Delta Sky, gone. American Way, gone. Retired after 55 years. Alaska and Emirates Airlines, too, gone. Airline magazines falling from the sky one by one. Some others, like United Hemispheres, are now digital only. Blame the pandemic. COVID killed the in-flight magazine, or rather gave airlines an excuse to make a cutback like businesses did with remote meetings where the office buildings used to be. But more than that is to blame. The digital era stampeded the helpless handheld mag. In-flight entertainment and mobile browsing happened. Airlines have even claimed noble reasons for discontinuing their magazines, like how removing all of them makes planes lighter, which saves on fuel. Sounds like malarkey. Hurtling cabins once were full of rattling newspaper pages held wide. Then those disappeared, and then I was the last flyer still leafing through an in-flight magazine while everybody else was softly chuckling at a movie or listening to music with earbuds. I miss every bit of the airline magazine, the greeting from the airline president, the Penn and Teller at the Rio ad, the dating and hair restoration ads, and the one inviting me to invest in a home care franchise. Things to do in Minneapolis, the list of top 10 steakhouses and America's best plastic surgeons, the crossword puzzle inevitably half-finished and poorly by a previous seat occupant. Oh, and the feature story on Southwest Customer Service Agent of the Month. You can't get that anywhere else. Most of all, I miss, anybody else remember Sky Mall? Oh, yes. My gosh. It was Amazon before Amazon, only at 30,000 feet. Talk about built-in marketing. Bored flyers stuck in a cabin for 3 hours slamming cocktails are liable to buy anything which Sky Mall offered. I'll never forget the time, after 3 or 4 deep eddies, I accidentally bought a life-size Bigfoot garden gnome for $2,250. Airlines, I will gladly pay extra if the bag I check is a pound too heavy. I'll put up with your cancellations, and with a hot meal being replaced by a 1-ounce bag of pretzels. Just please, give me back my in-flight magazine. See, I never played that Sudoku puzzle, but I sure did like knowing it was there. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
I am grateful for that because I was thinking to myself, I don't know what deep eddies are, first of all. Deep eddies are those drinks?
Yeah.
What are they?
It's a vodka.
What are they? Vodka?
Yeah.
It's just a brand of vodka?
It's a brand of vodka. I just like the phrase Deep Eddy.
Wouldn't it be great if Deep Eddies sponsored back in my day?
Well, we already have a sponsor, don't we?
That's for the Lobo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Visible.
Right.
Who could forget?
The good folks at Visible. They got me covered.
What do they do?
They're in cahoots with Verizon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
A lot of things. They're all over. They're all over the map. They got a lot going on.
I'm glad you brought this up
You
because
have them robbing a bank. I mean,
I thought to myself just yesterday, this was a thought that I had just yesterday. It wasn't about in-flight magazines, but it was about the idea that back before you could just smoke cigarettes in that flying tube in the sky, there was a time in this country where flight was like the happiest people at the height of opulence cutting a prime rib at the front of a plane. What that has now become, which is a bag of pretzels and we'll take $25 for your Wi-Fi, is appalling. Like, wait a minute, I haven't paid you enough for this flight to burn fossil fuel across the country, make sure that Pakistan falls into the sea with my fossil fuel. I also need to pay you $25 for the Wi-Fi because you keep raising the price. Holy shit, has anything got worse than airline travel in this country in the last 65 years? And that's covering some ground because I'm going back to 65. There was racism.
oh boy, Dan's back.
Wow.
People used to show up for flights like wearing a suit. It was like a big
It was a
occasion.
big deal.
And a hat.
It was a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
And a fedora.
And you
Yeah.
sat down, you had your steak.
Couple
and
of
now-
deep eddies.
Now it's
Yeah.
just feet.
Yeah.
Airplanes are just feet. Everyone takes their shoes off.
Oh, I hate
Everyone's
that.
got their
Yeah.
animals
It is.
with them.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
animals,
just
yeah.
feet.
We should put that on the grid of death. Your next flight, you have to get in a full suit.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'll happily choose that.
Yeah. Dressed like Connie
You're
Mack.
the only one. You are the only
Really?
one. I think
I
you're the only
disagree.
one in our crew who would happily wear a suit on a plane.
That sounds wonderful.
Sounds
I would
terrible.
die. How would it be terrible? You're proving.
Have you ever been on a plane that's sitting on the tarmac and it's 1,000 degrees inside that plane and the air is hot and you're sitting in a suit?
The longer he gets to wear the suit, though.
And you reach up and you try to turn that
And it's
sad
hot.
little
It's
air
like a-
nozzle.
it's like
a sad air.
So why
vent.
did you get the dryer?
Nothing good ever
Do you
comes
guys
out
do
of
this
that
thing where you
air
have your hand in front of it and
All
you're
the time.
you're going down towards your face? Like, all right, is this the right path?
Wait, does
Yeah.
anyone
Thing
movable?
And then once it gets in the air is way too cold.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
why does
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Why does that happen? Like it just happened
Because
to me.
it's very cold up in the air. I don't know if you know this, two guys.
Right.
No, but why does the AC not
closer to the
work when I'm
sun.
stuck on the tarmac?
It's colder up in the
1,000
air.
degrees outside.
But why?
It's
You're
cold in
closer to the
air.
sun.
I turn off my air conditioning once I get in the cabin. I turn
Really?
Yeah, I don't want
Really?
air blowing on me. I don't want that.
Again,
Yeah.
prime rib
Yeah.
in first class was a thing, and now it's a bag of pretzels. And somebody tell me, like, what's the most offensive of these things? Because when I gave my credit card yesterday for the Wi-Fi, it hurt.
Well, and it's shite Wi-Fi too. Like it's
Oh,
not.
it's
It's not
terrible.
even good. Like if you tried to
it is shite.
like
6K.
download a movie.
Nah.
Like you have no chance.
You guys are flying wrong. Disconnect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, you know what,
Pick up
Greg?
an in-flight magazine. Enjoy yourself.
I realized the theme of You're Back in My Days. You are essentially pining for boredom. And I think I agree with you.
Boredom's
I-
underrated.
I
Exactly.
agree. I think on a plane, you could, get on the American Airlines browser, and they have free movies there that actually stream reasonably well as part of their Wi-Fi package, and you could enjoy the in-seat television. But part of being on a plane was there used to be no screen, there was no mobile movies,
you.
mobile television shows. You had to find a way to entertain
Just
yourself.
alone with your
Yeah.
thoughts.
You read a book, you opened a magazine, you played a Sudoku puzzle, you were bored. And you had to figure out ways to fill the 5 hours worth of time.
Look out the window.
Or better yet, you did nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time you're in a great people watching scenario, such as an airport, look around and see the number of people who are doing nothing. No magazine, no iPhone, no this, no that. They're just sitting there, perhaps with their hands clasped.
Nobody's doing that.
No
Exactly.
one's
It's
doing
an
that.
Exactly.
endangered
Wow.
species.
Exactly.
You
Nobody
have to have
does
some
nothing.
urgency
I
when you go through an
long for
airport.
boredom.
You
have
don't do
to.
that though.
Right.
I do occasionally.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, he does.
Damn right I do. I'm alone with my thoughts, and what better place to be?
You have a Miller Lite in your hand for sure.
Deep eddies.
Well, I mean, I'm not crazy. I mean, you gotta see. Yeah, libation. You know, gotta stay hydrated. Come on, it's a health concern. You gotta stay hydrated. But
Airport beer is a
Do
top
nothing.
beer. I love a good airport beer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
no, do nothing. Not enough people do nothing.
That's right. That's a weekend
Just
right
sit
there.
there in an airport with your hands clasped, alone with your thoughts, just staring ahead.
Wait for your flights.
You're not taking a nap. You're not reading a book. You're not on your iPhone. You're just sitting there thinking.
You know the problem, Greg, is that people don't accept that nothing is something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They don't.
Sometimes you say, "What are you doing this week?" And you're like, "Nothing." And they're like, "Oh, let's." It's like, "No, I'm doing nothing." You
Oh, I
don't-
love
that's
nothing.
the plan.
That's the best weekend.
Best.
I'd rather do nothing than go on vacation.
I'd rather do nothing than something any day of the week.
Yeah.
Don't you do nothing on vacation? Isn't that part of the joy
No,
of vacation?
that's the problem.
Vacation is
Something on
very
vacation.
stressful.
Very
That's
stressful.
right.
You
We
work
feel
on
the need to do
vacation.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so for me, there's a difference between vacationing and traveling. Vacationing is you're on a beach with a drink in your hand. Traveling is you're going to see the sights of Rome. So, if we're talking about vacationing,
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
One of them's
You're
active,
also on
one's
vacation when you're in Rome, though.
No, you're not.
No, but I would call that like I'm traveling. You would say I'm taking a vacation, but for me, vacationing is you're lying somewhere by water with a drink in your hand.
Right.
But you
And
feel the need to do something, though, even
No.
while on vacation. You do.
If you have 4 more
Yeah.
things planned for the day, you're not on vacation.
I think this is, I'm 45. I got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
pretty much.
Even when you're like relaxing vacation, you're still like, there's something on the other side of the island I want to go check out. Like you always end up doing something.
You know how exhausting it is to spend an entire day at Disney World?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
It's when the kids were small and we used to do that. I'm never more tired than at the end of a Disney World day. It's crazy.
The biggest misconception, and now that we don't work there anymore, it's safe, is that it's the happiest place on earth. Take a look around. Who's happy?
Only this 3-year-old that's not going to remember any of this is happy.
Or, I mean, but there's also a 50-50 chance that 3-year-old is absolutely terrified. By
Yes.
the anthropomorphic mascots that are standing in front of them
Very
that are
true.
Tall
giant
Mickey.
and 4 times their size.
Yeah.
Imagine if a mouse was actually like 5 feet tall. How
it's
horrifying.
horrifying.
They are in New York. What are you talking about?
It's actually a fairly remarkable upset story in the history of Americana that our greatest character for children is a mouse. Because they don't have a positive connotation in any other context.
No.
You try to kill them.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Plus, they're timid. They're not even brave.
A great time to try and resurrect. I mean, I've been waiting. I've missed, deeply missed, drunk Mickey or tired Mickey. Your voice hasn't allowed. Like, have you retired that impersonation?
Eisner! No, I'm bringing it back. Jack. I will have something next week. Drunk Mickey will make his long, not awaited return next week.